Petite, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to what I think is going to be the loveliest, coziest, most wholesome summer weekend vlog. It is currently Friday morning and I have just had the loveliest start to my weekend. I honestly cannot tell you how much I love spending a morning out in the garden, just doing a little bit of flower maintenance, bringing in a little bit of a harvest, having my cup of tea outside. It is just such a perfect way to start the day, and I always love being able to bring in flowers from the garden. In fact, we have our first sweet pea harvest. I have been waiting for these sweet peas for the longest time, and the first set of sweet peas I actually sowed did end up failing. I've heard that this is one of the hardest years for any of the kind of like bean or pea variety. I think a lot of them got like wind scorch when it was quite warm back in May, so I ended up planting some new sweet peas and they have thrived. I am so happy. I can see them from the kitchen window, and honestly I cannot tell you how much Alex, my fiance, loves pointing out the fresh sweet peas. Whenever there's a new flower, he's like, we've got a flower, we've got another flower. They are his favorite flowers in the garden, and I absolutely love that because they were also my granny's favorite flowers. They feel very nostalgic. They feel like a very special flower to me. I've just popped them in a little posy vase. I always love picking these up from antique stores, thrifting them, getting them secondhand, because you can get them so much more affordably, and also they just look so pretty in a little posy vase. Obviously sweet peas don't have the longest stems in the world, so just a smaller vase works really well. And I cannot tell you the scent that I am getting right now. It's times like this where I just wish that smell-o-vision was a thing, because I wish you guys could smell these beautiful purple, pink and white sweet peas. I've popped them on the kitchen windowsill, and honestly they bring me so much joy just seeing them in the kitchen. And the thing with sweet peas is most flowers are cut and come again, but sweet peas are like that to an extreme, to the point of if you don't cut the flowers, they go to seed and the flower goes over quite quickly. So if you want your sweet peas to last as long as possible, if you want to have flowers all summer long, cut them as much as possible. The second you see a flower, you cut her and you bring her inside, not only so you can enjoy her in your own home, but also just to make sure that you have flowers for as long as possible. So I'm so excited for the rest of my sweet pea towers to start blooming, to start flowering, and the scent that fills the garden is my absolute favorite. So not only did we have quite the successful flower harvest, we also had quite the successful veggie harvest. Now you guys will know I don't have the biggest kitchen garden in the world. I live in a beautiful little farmhouse style home here in the New Forest. We've got a very small cottage style garden, but I cannot tell you the joy that I feel just bringing in a few little bits of produce, growing your own food, and then being able to eat it later. The euphoria that you feel. So we have quite the successful garden harvest. So I just brought in enough salad for my lunch basically, so that I don't have to do too much washing, and we're finally reaching the point that I'm only bringing in enough salad for myself. It gets to a point in the year, my friends know me as the queen of the salad, because I have a huge salad trug that I absolutely adore picking from, and I end up going around friends' houses with trugs full of salad. So we have baby gem salad, which I absolutely love. I really love the smaller leaves. I feel like they're so much sweeter. They're perfect in a salad because it means you don't have to like rip them or tear them or cut them up as much. So we've got some baby gem salad, we've also got some mixed leaf salad and a few different varieties, which always just make for such an incredible lunch. We then have a couple of strawberries, which I am so excited about. I cannot tell you the joy that I feel picking and eating my own strawberries. In fact, I haven't actually had lunch yet, so what I might do is cut these up and pop them in a little bit of Greek yogurt for my breakfast. These are honestly the sweetest strawberries that I have ever tasted, and I'm really excited that I have more growing. They seem to be in abundance this year, and last year I didn't do too well with my strawberries. So that really excites me that we have not one but two strawberries from the garden. But the thing that excites me most is we have our first harvest of a tomato. It is the first year's tomato, and I've honestly just been watching her ripen so tentatively. She came off the stalk so easily, which means she is at the perfect ripeness. I am 100% going to be having her for my lunch. I mean, we're definitely going to have to mix in some tomatoes I've got in the fridge from the farmer's market, because I don't think one tomato makes a lunch, makes a salad. But to be able to eat my own produce from the garden, a tomato that I grew, I was going to say from seed, but it was from a seedling, still counts. I am so excited to munch on her for my lunch. So a very successful garden harvest this morning. I'm going to give these all a good wash, have some breakfast, and then crack on with the rest of my day. wanted to show you my dress that I'm wearing today in a little bit more detail, because I think we can all agree this is the perfect little black dress for summer. And I know so many of you guys adored this dress when I first showed it to you in my Suzanne haul. It's a beautiful black linen button down full length dress from Suzanne, and I could not be more in love with it. However, I do want to let you know, I did decide to actually get this tailored. Now, being a petite girl, I am such an advocate for tailoring. I'm such an advocate for getting things altered to fit you perfectly, because I don't always want to be shopping from the petite section, but also don't always have the option. Suzanne as a brand does not do petite styling, like it doesn't do a petite section, so I have no choice but to fit the regular length. And I do think it fits really nicely. I love the length of it, the way that it comes down to my ankles. I think the hips and the waist just cinch in so perfectly, but I was actually really struggling with the chest area. That is the shortest part of me proportionally. My chest, I think my actual torso is probably about this long. I have very long legs in comparison, and like my chest area is obviously not going to be the length of like a regular fit person, so I do sometimes struggle if there's no kind of like way of editing, you know, if there's not like an adjustable strap or anything. I do sometimes struggle with those kinds of dresses. So when I was wearing this, I just kept finding that this little bit was coming down a little bit too low. I kept finding myself like pulling it up, just not being the most comfortable. I've never really been a cleavage kind of a gal, so I decided to take it to the tailors and honestly just got the tiniest little tweak done, just cinched up ever so slightly, and it now fits so perfectly. I could not be more in love. And I know obviously getting something tailored or altered costs that little bit extra, but when it's an item as timeless and as classic as this, you really do need to think about the cost per wear. This is the kind of dress that I know I will pull out of my wardrobe year on year on year. And it's funny, I always find that about my black summer pieces. So many people have such an issue with me wearing black in summer. It's so funny because I love black in summer. I think especially if you're wearing the right material, like a linen or a cotton, something really lightweight, black can definitely be a summer color. And for me personally, I just think it really suits with regards to my skin tone, which, speaking of, we have some updates on that front. I feel like instead of chatting to the mirror, we need to have a proper chat, because I have some things that I want to discuss, some changes that I don't know if you'll notice I have been making. So let's have a proper chat. Okay, I've come into our bedroom and actually just realized that this feels a little bit ironic to be standing here chatting about what I'm about to chat about, because the last time I was here, I think I was literally showing you that I'd put on a fresh layer of tan. I was in my little tanning robe, and everything has changed since that moment. And that was literally only 2 vlogs ago that I think we were standing here talking about tan. But I want to talk a little bit about some changes that I am making, one of which is that I have decided to stop fake tanning. And it feels really weird what a big deal this feels like, but I think a lot of you guys might relate if you're quite a pale person. If you have been the kind of person that's always grown up being the palest of the group in every single photo, you look ghostly white compared to your friends, and often get asked when you're not wearing any tan, are you ill? Because you are just so deathly pale. But I recently have just been having a little bit of a think about the tanning routine, about how much mental capacity it actually takes. And I really want to reclaim that and take that time, that mental load, that effort back, and basically embrace my natural skin tone. So that's why I said I don't know if you'll even notice a difference, because I'm not really sure what the camera fully picks up. Sometimes it can kind of change the lighting a little bit and change colors a little bit. So I don't know if you're going to notice that I am not wearing any tan at the moment. I've literally spent like the last 3 days fully scrubbing it off. And it feels liberating, I have to say. I have never looked paler, but actually I've kind of never been happier. I don't have any marks around my wrist. My hands are the same color as my arms. My elbows are no longer orange. Like, look at that elbow. That is the most beautiful natural elbow I think I have ever seen, and it is my natural skin tone. And it's really helped that I think the TikTok algorithm has been serving me exactly the content I need right now, and that is what has really given me the push. But there's about 2 or 3 influencers that I've started following. The first of which, who I think has made the biggest impact, is an influencer who I can't remember her name for the life of me, but she lives in New York, I believe. She's American. She has the most beautiful ginger hair. She has stunning freckles along her arms, and she literally is creating like a channel around regaining that confidence and like bringing it back to being a pale girl and embracing that, embracing who you are for what you are. And I cannot tell you how much her content has helped me with regards to confidence, with regards to how beautiful I think she is, and so therefore how beautiful my paleness could be for me, if that makes sense. So I've taken the plunge and I've decided this summer is going to be the summer of no fake tan. I'm going to be deathly ghostly white, and we are going to embrace that. In fact, instead of focusing on tan, what I really want to instead of focusing on tan, what I really want to focus on is more of a glow within my skin. And I don't know if a lot of you guys feel this way, but when I've got tan on, I don't always feel glowy and beautiful. Sometimes it just feels a little bit sticky. Sometimes it just feels a little bit like a darker skin tone to me. And actually, considering that I've kind of already taken a little bit of a step in this direction by stopping doing like full fake tans and focusing more on gradual tans, I actually think a lot of people probably aren't going to even notice a difference. 99% of people did not know that I put on gradual tan. They did not know that I even bothered with like making my skin tone a little bit darker. So it is time. We are going to be embracing the pale girl. I am really excited to be going on this journey, and I hope you guys will join me along as well. I don't know if any of you are in similar boats. Please let me know down below, because we can be pale girls together, we can unite and share some tips and tricks. In fact, I did a little bit of a beauty haul of some things that I think are going to really help me with regards to regaining my confidence, with regards to getting my glow back and just loving my pale skin for what it is. So let me show you the Space NK order that I've done. I've obviously been using a lot of these bits already. This is the first one that I feel like has made the biggest difference. And I am not gonna lie, this sounds awful, but I was really bad at exfoliating my skin, considering that I was tanning, considering that I was putting like a gradual tanner on. I didn't really exfoliate much because obviously I just found that it took the tan off. And so I'm really focusing on more of a chemical exfoliator rather than a physical, because physical can be quite abrasive. It can be quite almost, what's the word, where it's not like, it's not the same throughout. So sometimes it can be a bit more abrasive, sometimes it can miss patches. I don't find it very good at being, what is the word I'm looking for? Cohesive, coherent, do you know what I mean? And actually I feel like a chemical exfoliator is so much better at that. So this is the Naturium, the Smoother Glycolic Acid Body Wash, and I have been loving this. It's really helping just kind of strip my skin back. It's not harsh, it doesn't feel like you're applying an exfoliator. You don't need to scrub or anything, you literally just apply it like a body wash, and I feel like it's really helped with regards to getting rid of a lot of that really deep tan. I really struggled for the first couple of days because my elbows still clung onto it and my armpits still clung onto the tan, so I was like pale all over with just these kind of orange patches. So I feel like this has really helped. And then also helping with regards to a little bit of exfoliation, again chemical exfoliation, is the Ordinary Body Care Salicylic Acid 5% Body Serum. Now I love the Ordinary, so when I discovered this on Space NK, I just knew I was going to love it, because the Ordinary products I feel like are always really scientifically tested, like they're dermatologically tested, and I feel like they really work for my skin. So I've been using this as well, as I say, particularly on the areas that were really clinging on to the tan. So I'm excited to use this a little bit more. It does feel weird applying a serum after you shower, but I really do like this. I'm also focusing a lot more on body oils. So I've got two body oils here. One that is predominantly focusing on like the actual health of my skin, and then one that is a little bit more of like the aesthetic. So we've got the L'Occitane Huile Supplisse Supple Skin Oil. And let me tell you, this feels incredible. However, it does feel greasy. So when you apply this, you do need to just kind of stand and let yourself air dry for a good 5-10 minutes. So if you don't really like that, I think the Tan Luxe one is a little bit better and a little bit more like on the spot oil application, if that makes sense. So I've actually applied a little bit just to the tops of my shoulders to make them a little bit more glowy, a little bit more glossy, and I feel like that's really working, especially with a dress like this when I don't have a tan. So I really like this. This is the Tan Luxe The Glow, and I do love Tan Luxe products. They are just my absolute favorite. They were pretty much all I was using with regards to my gradual tanner anyway, so I know I can trust them. I know they are just absolutely fabulous, and this does have a subtle shimmer, a subtle kind of glow, and this does have a subtle shimmer and a subtle little glow to it, which I really like. So those two are working really well. And then moisturization, I have also picked up a new body moisturizer because I think this is going to work so well. Again, I've been applying it and loving it. I really like this because it doesn't take a long time to dry, and I know a lot of you guys hate that. I don't mind it too much. I get out the shower, I'll usually apply my moisturizer. I'm the kind of person that walks around the house naked a lot anyway, so I'll just walk around, brush my hair, start sorting out some more skincare. Doesn't really bother me, but this dries instantly, so I really like it. It is the Fresh Lily Jasmine body lotion, and I love fresh products. I'm using the fresh moisturizer at the moment, and it just sinks into your skin, and I cannot tell you how incredible this smells. It's just really fresh, but a little bit floral, very summery, but not too much. It's not too like strong or potent or the kind of scent that like you'll smell all day long. It just kind of gives you the lovely sort of like undertone of scent, and then you can obviously add your perfumes and your body sprays and just layer up that way. So I also picked up that. So a bit of a body care haul, a bit of a beauty haul that I am really hoping is going to help me out along this journey, because it definitely feels like it is a journey that I am undertaking. I mean, even looking at myself in the viewfinder now, it feels very jarring seeing such a pale complexion staring back at me, but I am hoping that I'm going to be able to regain that confidence, embrace the paleness, and one day love the paleness. I have to say, I am loving the glow that I'm noticing in my skin. It's really nice knowing that this is a real glow of my real skin, not just like a fakeness that has been plastered over the top. And I also can't even begin to tell you how clean I feel. My skin feels so clean. It feels so glowy and moisturized, and I really kind of love seeing the freckles coming out on my skin. The freck is back, and I am really going to be embracing that this year. So I wanted to give you a little bit of an update on that, because it does feel like quite sudden, but I have to say, sometimes a switch is flicked in your brain and you realize that you never want to go back to like the old you, and you really want to implement and highlight those changes and make sure that you are living the change that you want to see. And I just don't want to be that person that has to think about her tanning schedule anymore. I want to be pale and glowing and really embrace that. I actually think it's going to be most interesting seeing how I feel at things like events, at weddings, at special occasions, because those are usually the times where we feel the most pressure to be like the brownest, the bronziest, the glowiest possible. So it's going to be interesting to see how I get on, but pale girl summer is officially here, and I have to say right now, I'm quite excited about it. Good morning, mon petit. It is Saturday morning now, and I promise you I am wearing a gorgeous little dress. I'm not walking around my dressing room naked, despite the fact that I said yesterday I would never quite pick up the vlogging camera like that, but I'm wearing a dress that I'm very consciously putting on today. I'm kind of forcing myself to do a little bit of exposure therapy, is that what they call it? Where you force yourself into situations that would normally make you a little bit uncomfortable, that you would normally shy away from. I'm wearing this beautiful Bardot dress from Row & Sew, and I would never normally wear a dress like this without at least 5, 6, 7 layers of fake tan on, because I would never normally get this much chest out, this much like shoulder and skin out without feeling bronzy. However, we've put on a little bit of the Tan Luxe oil, and despite the fact that I'm definitely not bronzed, I do have a glow. So I am really embracing the dress today, embracing the paleness, and giving myself a little bit of exposure therapy, because we're heading out today. We've got a lovely sunny Saturday plan. We're actually heading to one of my favorite places for a little drink and a little catch up with some friends. We're heading to Langston House, which I am so excited about. It's a beautiful manor house hotel in, it's in Hampshire, but it's not quite in the New Forest. It's closer to Winchester, so a little bit further out from us, but not too far of a drive, and so worth it, especially on a gorgeous day like today. We've actually stayed the night there a couple of times. My cousin got married there many moons ago. It is just the most beautiful countryside hotel. I absolutely adore it, and they do have an incredible kitchen garden there, which I always take a lot of inspiration from, so I'm so excited to head out, and thought a dress like this was just perfect for today. We can sit out on the terrace, look at the beautiful Hampshire countryside views. I can get a little bit of a tan and a little bit of a natural glow. Let's be honest, a tan for me is going to be very minimal, but I just really love how the dress looks, and I'm very proud of myself for putting it on today without any kind of tan on. fully pale. But anyway, before we went, I actually wanted to show you some new beauty bits, some new makeup that I was very kindly sent from one of my favorite brands, Swede. I absolutely adore Swede products. I've only ever tried their mascara before. I've got it here. This is the Swede Cloud Mascara. And the first time I tried it, I was a little bit unsure about it, I'm not gonna lie. But I feel like it takes a little bit of like work and a little bit of practice. The main thing is that it takes a little while to dry down. So I feel like you apply it, and then if you're like me and you're a bit clumsy, you end up with a bit of, you know, like the mascara smudge on the top of your eyes. As long as you basically just sit still for a little bit, maybe you've got a fan on you and just let it dry, this does not smudge for the rest of the day. And I really love the volume that it gives my lashes. So they very kindly sent me a new cloud mascara, which I'm adding into the collection. And they also sent over some beautiful kohl eyeliners. So we've got bright and we've got dusty brown. And dusty brown is what I use today. As you guys know, my little eyeliner fleck is like, my signature look. I literally could not be without it. And I like it to be as easy and as quick as possible. I don't want to spend more than like 3 minutes doing it. So I really loved the fact that this was just like a really easy little pencil. I literally just smudged it along, cleaned it up with my finger underneath, and we have the most beautiful little brown flick. I think brown is so much more flattering as well than like a black eyeliner. So I really like this. I'm excited to try the lighter color, bright. I don't know what I would use it for. Would that be more of like your waterline or like the inner corner of your eye? Because it's obviously such like thin eyeliner stick. Let me know what you would use this for. Maybe I can use it as like a bit of a brightening. Ooh, a little bit of a brightening on the inner corners. I quite like that. Oh, that is actually really lovely. And the thing I'm not gonna lie, I am most excited to try, that I'm going to have to test out tonight, is the eyelash serum. Now, I have never actually tried this serum before, but I have heard amazing things. So many girls rave about it. It's the Pro Eyelash Serum. And I have to say, my lashes have been a little bit, I just feel like a little bit lackluster recently. I feel like I do need a little bit of help with them. So I might have to give this a little try tonight. I do love their packaging as well. That bright blue is just so much fun. Very summery. So I might have to give this a little bit of a test tonight and see how we get on. Maybe I should give myself a patch test first. Might do that, or maybe I'll do that on like the little back of my neck, just to make sure that I'm not allergic or anything. I always think it's so important to do a patch test. So I'll leave that on for the day. And as long as I have no reaction tonight, we might have to do a little bit of a pamper and give this a little try this evening. But let me show you my outfit before we head to Langston, because I do love the dress. I have to say, I just absolutely adore how the dress looks with my new haircut as well. I feel like these face framing layers just work so perfectly at framing the neckline, whilst I still can get that little like shoulder pop moment. I just adore this dress. It's the perfect day to night dress. I feel like you can dress it up or dress it down, add a little string of pearls, add a cute little pair of heels, and you very much have like a summer evening dress, or wear it like I'm wearing today. I've got a gorgeous little pair of slides on from M&S, my Loewe basket bag, the epitome of a basic but not boring summer outfit, perfect for just sitting outside, drinking your iced coffee and soaking up that vitamin D. I do obviously have SPF 50 on my shoulders as well, but I'm so excited for a lovely little morning at Langston House, so let's get going. We have just arrived to Langston House now, and just look at this view that you are greeted with. I cannot get over how beautiful the borders are looking. They still have some wisteria blooming, which is absolutely incredible. I remember when we stayed here, I think we stayed in one of these rooms over here, and there's a little courtyard in there which is so gorgeous. But look at these borders, they are so beautiful. Honestly, I need to know more names of flowers, because these dark like maroon red ones are just stunning. These ones are absolutely beautiful. I think these are poppies. That definitely looks like a poppy seed. And this vibrant pink, oh my goodness me, it is absolutely beautiful. It is also on the other side here of the gates. I adore these gates. They are just so majestic, so magnificent. And look at these climbing up them. They are absolutely stunning. It is safe to say I'm going to be taking lots of photos of these borders for inspiration. Oh, look at the hydrangea Annabelles. Oh my goodness me, it is just so stunning. We are of course heading straight into the kitchen garden. It is always my favourite part of Langston House. I mean, look at how beautiful this is. If this isn't kitchen garden goals, then I don't know what is. The polytunnels are always just so impressive. I love seeing what's growing, but I cannot tell you how hot it is in here. I think we have some peppers. I'm not entirely sure what these are. I wish they labelled them. Oh, they do. what does that say? Oh, it's cucumbers, which are climbing up so nicely. They even have some cucumbers, can you see there? That look like they are ready for harvesting. Wow. We even have beds of courgette. I think these are different types of courgettes, because can you see they are bright yellow. They look absolutely fantastic, and I think from the looks of it we've got some pumpkins growing over here. Oh, and some rhubarb. Look at the rhubarb and the corn. Honestly, this is just kitchen garden heaven. I love seeing the beans growing up. There's nothing I love more than a little bit of structure in a kitchen garden. It just adds so much interest. I love it. They literally use every inch of space, even climbing up the walls. We have raspberries, which look like they are almost ready to be harvested. Look at these. And I think we have some pear trees splayed across. They are honestly just using every inch of the kitchen garden. I can't tell you how impressive it is. It's just so beautiful. And I love the fact that they've got lavender growing in the kitchen garden as well. I think it's quite nice not to forget about the flowers. And I'm guessing they harvest this lavender because they are B Corp, so you can use lavender obviously for flavourings. You can use it for beautiful produce, which I absolutely love. I can't tell you how fragrant it is. It just smells absolutely incredible. Oh my goodness me, they've even got a little orchard growing. This is absolutely beautiful, just outside of the walled kitchen garden. I don't remember this being here, but I think from the looks of it, these are apple trees. Look, they've even got some growing. Are those little apples? I think so. I can't tell for definite, but that is incredible. I bet in the future they're going to make their own apple juice, use them for apple crumbles and things like that. It is just so stunning. Look at this one. The tiniest little apple, but he is doing really well. Oh, it is just so beautiful. Honestly, I just can't think of a better way to spend the morning. A beautiful tour of the most beautiful kitchen garden. I am very much in need of an iced coffee now to cool me down, so we're gonna head in for a drink. So we are back home now from Langston House, and I am so sorry for forgetting to show you A, our drinks, and B, our incredible view from the terrace. If you sit out in either of the two terraces, there's one which is kind of to the side of the house, one that's towards the back of the house. The one at the back has the most incredible stretching view of just Hampshire countryside. It is our absolute favourite. Alex literally just positioned himself and just couldn't take his eyes off it. It was absolutely incredible. We ended up having drinks, the loveliest catch up, and we actually stayed for lunch. So we're back home now, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking outside and the garden is calling me. So I think I might pop on a hat because I've had a lot of sun exposure today. I might get myself outside. I'm just going to keep in this dress because it's so comfy. It's so easy to wear for a little bit of gardening and just do a little bit of kitchen garden maintenance. After seeing the kitchen gardens at Langston, it has really inspired me just to get out and do a little bit of maintenance in my own and just get it looking beautiful, pull out anything that's maybe gone over a little bit. I've had a couple of lettuces that have started to bolt, so I think it's time to say goodbye to them, reseed some new lettuces just so that we have a little bit more of a like succession going, and spend basically the rest of my Saturday in my favorite place, outside in the garden. It is a few hours late now. It has been such a successful afternoon out in the kitchen garden. Honestly, a weekend of gardening brings me so much joy. In fact, today has basically been my ideal day. A morning spent exploring kitchen gardens, and then an afternoon tending to my own. I am so happy with how neat the veg truck is now looking, and the abundance of tomatoes that we will be harvesting so soon excites me so much. The kitchen garden is just thriving at the moment. So we spent a few hours gardening, and then the last couple of hours literally just soaking up a little bit more sunshine, sitting out and enjoying the garden, having a little glass of rosé. It has just been fabulous. My ideal sunny Saturday in summertime. So Alex is downstairs cracking on with dinner now, just taken off my dress, popped on my robe, and I want to do a little bit of a pamper night because I feel like there is nothing quite like a Saturday night, a pamper night. And as much as we've been focusing on body care, I also don't want to forget about the skin. We've had a lot of beauty chat in this video, but I have something new to show you that I'm really, really excited to test drive. Now, you guys know me and my LED light masks. I feel like they are probably the best skincare investment that you can ever make, and they are an investment, don't get me wrong, but the results you see from the investment. I have loaned out my LED light masks to friends, to family, and every single person that has ever used it has commented on how effective it is. And I thought they were a gimmick when I first heard of them. I have now learned that they could not be further from that. So I have a gorgeous new LED light mask to test drive today. This is from Lustre Clear Skin. And what I really liked about this light mask is it's a little bit different to other light masks, that this has red light therapy and blue light therapy. And I've heard really good things about blue light therapy, about how much it helps with regards to acne, with regards to scarring, and also just rejuvenating your skin. And for me especially, when I'm either stressed or at that time of the month, I break out so badly. So if I can use something that can kind of control that, mitigate that, and just really help with that, then I am going to use that. So let's unbox this and test drive it tonight. I'm not going to lie, out of all of the LED light masks out there, I think this might just be one of the freakiest. Look at that. That is actually so scary, but I do kind of love walking around the house with my LED light mask on and scaring my fiance. Does anybody else do that with their partner? But it's got a really lovely strap, and you can see inside just quite how many little light nodules there are, which is really nice. We've got ones around the nose, which I do struggle with around the nose, especially for acne and pores. I really struggle with around the mouth. And I actually think, looking at it size-wise, this is actually going to fit my face. A lot of the ones that I have are a little bit big for me, I'm not gonna lie. So I don't always find that like the eye holes and the mouth holes line up perfectly. This looks like it's going to light up really well. It is so creepy, but I'm gonna get my makeup off first. Before we do that, I'm gonna use the Fresh Soy Face Cleanser. I'm loving this at the moment. Honestly, anything fresh is just my favorite. My body lotion, my body lotion, my cleanser, my moisturizer. It is just a brand that I absolutely adore. I cannot tell you how gentle this is on the skin. I literally use it on my eyes, I use it on my lips. It just melts away your makeup. Also, is there anything better than taking your makeup off at the end of the day? I would actually equate it to being as good as taking your bra off. Controversial, I know, but I love that feeling of fresh skin at the end of the day. Oh my gosh, the jump scare! I should have warned you guys. This is actually kind of terrifying. But you know what I find insane about this mask? As you can see, there is no wires. There is no plug-in, no battery. It is all literally up here. And I thought that that would be really heavy on your face, but actually it isn't. I feel like it's really balanced well. It's not top heavy or anything. So we just hold down and then we can cycle through whether we want red light, or I'm going to do a little bit of blue light this evening just to refresh and rejuvenate my skin. I've had a few breakouts that I feel like I just have a little bit of scarring, so we'll just let that do its thing. I don't know about you, but I always love multitasking whilst I'm masking. Ooh, multi-masking. So I'll just do a little blitz of the house whilst I've got it on. It's so handy that I don't have any wires. I don't even need to like put a battery pack in the pocket. I can just walk around. And actually, I have to say, eyesight wise, this is so much more comfortable than a lot of the other masks that I've got. Like, I don't feel like I need the eye patches. I don't feel like it's pushing into my face at all. I am very impressed with this one. Right, about 10 minutes we've got for it to work its magic. I'm gonna do a little blitz of the house. So 10 minutes later, and I have to say, I am so impressed with how comfortable this is, how well it fits my face. And I have to say, I think my skin is glowing. Bearing in mind, I don't have anything on my skin at the moment. Obviously, I've taken my makeup off, but I don't even have any moisturizer. I don't have any serum or anything like that. That is what I really love actually about the Fresh Soy Cleanser, is a lot of cleansers I feel really stripped as soon as I use them, and I'm just desperate to put some moisturizer on. I don't feel that with this. I really like it for that reason. And I feel like doubling up with the face mask has just given it the like rejuvenation, the glow that I needed. I'm in love. Absolutely in love. So I'm going to go and do the rest of my skincare now. Pop on a little bit of vitamin C, a little little bit of moisturizer, and then head down for dinner because Alex has just given me a 5-minute warning. So I think I'm gonna end this vlog here. There has been so many lovely new bits I've been able to show you. Some big life changes that are happening still. As I'm looking in the viewfinder, all I can see is this ghost staring back at me, but we'll get used to it. We will get used to it one day, and we will love and celebrate the pale skin. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed just spending the loveliest, most wholesome, cozy summer weekend with me, seeing what's going on in the garden, a little tour of Langston. It's been such a lovely, wholesome vlog. I have very much enjoyed filming it, so I hope you guys have enjoyed watching it. If you're new, I would love it if you hit that subscribe button, and I will see all of you guys in the next video. Bye.